You set an alarm last night. You woke up, checked your phone, made coffee, and sat down to work. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, you probably felt like you were behind, like you weren't doing enough. But that feeling, that restless, grinding sense that you should be doing more, is brand new. Because for almost all of human history, your ancestors weren't doing what you do. Not even close. So what were they actually doing? Modern humans have existed for roughly 300,000 years. Agriculture is only about 10,000 years old. That means for 97% of human existence, your ancestors lived as hunter-gatherers. No office, no schedule, no inbox. Anthropologist Marshall Sahlins studied hunter-gatherer groups still living traditional lifestyles, the Kung San people of the Kalahari, Aboriginal Australian communities. And what he found rewrote the textbook. He called them the original affluent society. Not because they had more stuff, but because they had more time. The Kung San spent between 3 and 5 hours a day on what we would call work, foraging, hunting, processing food. That was it. The rest of the day was theirs. What did they do with the rest? They talked, they rested, they played, they told stories. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar argued that language itself may have evolved as a kind of vocal grooming, a way to bond with more people at once than you could physically touch. Your ancestors' daily conversation wasn't small talk, it was survival technology. Your earliest human relatives mostly walked. Paleoanthropologist Herman Pontzer found that ancient hominins walked between 9 and 15 kilometers a day, not chasing a goal, but because movement was how they interacted with the world. Walking wasn't exercise, it was thinking. It was the original form of paying attention. Your body knows this. Your arched foot, your long Achilles tendon, your ability to sweat while running. None of this makes sense for a creature meant to sit still. And your nervous system still runs on an ancient rhythm: burst, rest, move, rest. It's why sitting for 8 straight hours feels like punishment even when nothing painful is happening. The middle of the day was for rest. Sleep researcher Sarah Mednick has shown that a short midday nap restores alertness to morning levels and improves performance for the rest of the day. Your ancestors didn't fight this. They lay down. They slept. Then came the fire. Then the stories. Researcher Polly Wiesner found that during the day, the Kung San talked about practical things: food, tools, logistics. But at night, around the fire, 81% of conversation shifted to stories, myth, legend, tales of distant places. Those stories trained the social imagination. They let your ancestors simulate lives and choices they hadn't lived yet. Your love of stories, your inability to stop watching one more episode, is not a modern weakness. It is an ancient adaptation. Your brain is a story processing machine. It always has been. This doesn't mean ancient life was easy. It was dangerous. A broken bone could be a death sentence. But your brain and body are still calibrated for that life, and you are living a radically different one. The restlessness you feel when you haven't moved, the way your focus scatters after too many hours inside, the strange comfort of a crackling fire, the pull toward making something with your hands, the way a real, unhurried conversation feels like food. These are not personality quirks. These are signals from a body that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years and has not received the memo that the world has changed. Your ancient ancestors did not spend their days being productive. They spent their days being alive. And underneath the calendar and the to-do list and the alarm that pulled you out of bed this morning, that is still what you are trying to do. Tonight, when the day winds down and you sit somewhere quiet and feel like you can just breathe, that's not you wasting time. That is the oldest version of yourself finally, briefly, getting what it came here for.